Have you ever seen the walkers in the rain? It's best if you haven't. I mean, you can't really see them. Not really. Not actually. Not precisely. Maybe in the corner of your eye sometimes you see a shape, more like an outline. But you would have to be outside when it's raining and it's dark, and you would have to be alone. And dying. Did I forget to mention that? Oh. They step from the rain, or they are made by the rain, or the rain is just thousands of tears that fall from the sky because no one else is weeping, and they are the manifestations of the grief for those no one ever grieves. Or at least that's what they say. When the tears take form, they process in slow procession through these alleys and these streets, unseen and unknown. Like I said, maybe you'll see a glint in the corner of your eye, a flash of movement, and you'll turn your head and see nothing, and laugh at your silly eyes for seeing things. You won't see them as they make their wounded march with bowed heads and mumbled prayers. You won't see the tears from the sky become the tears from their eyes that drizzle to the street and into the gutter. You won't see it, but you'll feel it. You'll be holding hands with your sweetie and thinking of pleasant things with the scent of vanilla or peach in your nose when it hits you. The hand holding your hand grows cold. It withers and turns to dust in a moment. The sweet smell turns too sweet, like an overripened peach left out too long. It will happen so fast, you may not even notice it, but those pleasant thoughts will spoil. You'll look at that sweetie of yours, and all you'll see is decay and death. Just for a moment. But it'll be enough to ruin your night. Then the walkers will be gone, down another street or another alley, making their sad way through the city until they find what they came for. You'll drop your sweetie's hand because, and you won't know this of course, death just touched you on the shoulder and reminded you that the current of life pushes us away from life and into a cold and lonely sea. A few weeks ago it was Tanny. Sweet girl. Runaway. Boyfriend left her alone to score something bad, and she walked down the wrong alley. Never even saw the knife that opened up her belly. Bleeding out, she smelled warm waffles, like her mom used to make her when she was a little girl. An arm pulled her in tight, and soft lips grazed the top of her head. And then she slept. Then it was old Grady. Came back from a war that was never his and never found a job again. He just drifted on the streets for years, scraping out a life with nickels and dimes and discarded food from the city's best restaurants' dumpsters. Too many cold nights will wear a man down, and, hands shaking and breathing ragged, he scraped the maggots off a day-old burger. The smell of warm steak and potatoes filled his nose, and he could swear he was biting down on the juiciest porterhouse of his life. A lovely last meal. And just a couple of nights ago, it was Stanley's time. Walking home from work, mad at his job, mad at his wife, mad at his kids, and his brain just popped. Nobody saw him stumble and fall into the alley. The rain had just started and they were too busy with their umbrellas and their running for cover to worry about the angry guy who tripped over a garbage can. Stanley sat himself up in that alley and tried to call for help, but no sound came from his lips. That's when he saw them, the walkers in the rain. They shimmered between the drops, almost invisible, and the tears from the sky that made them became tears from their eyes that ran into the street and into the gutter. Stanley held out a hand as a plea for help. Then it hit him. Rose and lilacs. What she wore on their first date. When he knew after one kiss that she was the one. Then the leather of a baseball mitt. The one he bought for Greg. The one that Greg left behind when he left for college, but that Stanley kept in his drawer at work. The tears from the sky that made them became his tears. White light filled his eyes, and he lived 1,000 moments at once. The walkers in the rain held hands, and if anyone had been listening carefully, they would have thought a choir somewhere was singing Bruce Springsteen's Thunder Road, which just happened to be Stanley's favorite song. Oh, what's that? You think you see them? Oh, I'm sorry about that. I think you know what that means now. I do wish this had gone differently. I best be off, but not before I help myself to your wallet. Oh, you do carry a lot of cash with you. Much obliged. William Christian Jones. It was very nice to meet you. What's that? Lobster? No, I don't smell any lobster. You've been listening to The Walkers in the Rain, produced by Cascadia Dread and Divebard Productions, written and narrated by Crow Gorely.